some more. Let's go and discuss what is there in the book. So I think, okay, this one we have already discussed about the word, the one here, right? We already discussed about one here. So we have identified the inputs, outputs, process, and start and stop. And this is how you draw the flow chart. Understood? තේරෙනවනේ අර symbols ටික දාලා අඳින්න විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. හරි. ඊතර ටික දාලා. හරි. Then let's move to the questions. So let's move to the scenarios given in the textbook, right? So when you access the textbook, okay. So these are the scenarios given in the textbooks. So these are general scenarios, actually not programs or software, but general scenarios. Making a cup of tea. So inputs: tea leaves, sugar, hot water. So then the process will be a process. They have explained the process. So just remember these. Sometimes they might ask from the same areas, even though these are not software programs. Because software නෙවෙයිනේ. ඒ වුණාට මේ වගේම අහන්න. Cup of tea එක හදන්නේ කොහොමද? එතකොට දැන් මේකේ බලන්නකෝ. Inputs මොනවාද? Leaves, sugar and hot water. So input දාන්න ඕන parallelogram වල. Put in tea leaves into the strainer. Then these are processes. So processes you have to write in rectangle, right? So output is the cup of tea. So problem 3. So they have given various examples. The parcel, so divide in 4 pages and 80 pages books from a parcel between 2 siblings. So you are given 2 parcels, 40 pages books as well as 80 pages books, and then you have to divide it between 2 siblings. So then they're asking, so what is the input? Input is the parcel of books, and output is the Sanduni getting 40-page books and Anupama getting 80 pages books, right? So this is the process. So similar to that, they have explained various scenarios. This is adding 2 numbers. 2 numbers, we have discussed this already. 2 numbers is the input, adding 2 numbers is the process, and total is the output. And finding the area of rectangle. What is the input? What are the inputs? Area එක හොයන්නකොම rectangle එක. You have to give length and width නේ. Length එකයි width එකයි තියෙනවා නම් then you can find area equal to length into width, and area is the output. So can we change this? Okay, can we change this one to find out? Oh, can we draw another one, new one, to find out the area? Oh, let's change the same one. Find out the area of rectangle. What are the inputs? Input, yeah, no. Inputs මොනවාද? area එක හොයන්න. Width and
length into
width and length. මම දාන්න WID. මට කෙටි නමක් දාගන්න පුළුවන් නේ. Width and length. So then so the only thing is it should be according to these rules, right? So then you can say area. So let's say area වලට මම දාගන්නම් AR කියලා. AR equal to width multiplied by length is the area. Then display the area AR and stop. So this program find out the area of rectangle. So if I ask you to change this to find the area of circle, find the area of circle, what do you need? Inputs. වෘත්තය එක නැත්නම් circle එකේ area එක. So
fire
square. So you need, so inputs, what are the inputs? You need, yeah,
22, like
that's we call pi a, as well as you need r, no?
So in programming, in programming that when it comes to area in a circle, it is 5r squared, no? Then when we inputting some inputting the we should write 5r squared root 22 over 7 into.
What you can do is, if you want, you can skip this part. You can just enter r only, because you know the value of pi, no? You can input r and you can say area is equivalent to, as you said, 22 divide by 7 into r into r. That is also okay. So you input only r, because you already know the phi is 22 divided by 7.
Yeah.
Therefore, you input r only. In the program, you write find. So I just need 22 divided by 7 into r into r. So let me show this in small program. This is not there in your syllabus, but to actually to explain this more, to show how this is useful, let me show it in a Python program. Python is not there in your syllabus, but to show how easy this is, I'm using this. Syllabus don't think that, don't misunderstand that you have to learn Python as well. No, that is not required. So let's say let me
Yeah,
write program, small program using Python to show the same. That means that's why plan is very important. When you have the plan, so it is very easy to create a program. So input r, we write it like this: r equal int input. We give a message, enter radius, right? Enter radius. Then you have to find the area AR, that is equivalent to 22 divided by 7 into this R into R. Then you have to print that AR. Maybe you can give a message: area of the circle is, then give this AR. So this is the program. Believe me, this is the program, how easy the programming is. So some people think our programming is very difficult, and no, it's not like that. If you have the proper plan, if you have a proper plan, implementing that plan in coding will be very easy. But only thing is you need the plan. If you cannot plan, then it will be difficult. But if you can plan, it is very easy. Then let me run this. When you run this, it will ask to save. I'm going to save this and run this. And it asked me enter radius. I have to give a radius. Let's say radius is 14. I'm entering radius as 14. Then it says area of the circle is 616. So we can check whether this is correct. We can use the calculator, calculate and tell, okay, so I need the area is 14. 14 into 14 into 22 divided by 7. So you can say 616.
Yeah.
So this is how you do the programming part, right? If you have the plan, you can implement that in the programming. It's very easy. The only thing is you have some syntax. මේක ලියනකොට ක්‍රමයක් තියෙනවා. අර වරහන් දාන්න ඕන එක එක ක්‍රම තියෙනවා. Those are the things that you have to remember. Other than that, it's very easy. So you have Pascal programming in all levels. You have Pascal programming. We'll teach that part as well. If time permits, we can learn that. But they will not ask much questions from Pascal. But anyway, they will ask from pseudocodes. Pseudocodes means the codes, those are not true codes. We call in Sinhala ව්‍යාජකේත. يعني කෝඩ් එකක් නෙවෙයි, නිකන් කෝඩ් එකක් වගේ ලියන එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකෙන් අහනවා. හරි. ඒකෙන් අපිට ලියන්න පුළුවන්. So that part we have to learn. Okay, let's go back to the book. And they have given different so these odd numbers, even numbers printing. So how to do that and all. Cases, different cases are given. Okay, when you solve a problem, right? Then when you are solving a problem, so these are some solutions. So case by case, so just go through and read it, but this is not very important. So the only thing is you have to break down the problem into small pieces and identify these inputs, outputs, and all. Then it can be easily solved, right? So there can be various solutions. So for an example, perimeter of a rectangle can be length plus width plus length plus width. That is one solution. The second solution, length into 2 plus width into 2. Or you can add length and width together and multiply by 2. So you can use any solution. So, but anyway, you will go for the easiest one. Why they have selected the first solution as most appropriate? Because it has addition only. Because in the programming, addition is really easy addition, but multiplication and division, those are difficult operations. So therefore, programs prefer addition. So that's why they have selected the first solution. First solution is the most appropriate one, even though this is not given in the mathematics books. In the mathematics books, maybe you find this one as the solution, third one. But in programming, they will go for the easiest one. Addition is easier, addition, then subtraction, then only it comes the multiplication and division. Right? Okay, then let's go to the problem solving algorithms, problem solving using algorithms. In this part, we will learn any problem can be solved using three techniques we call control structures. Okay, so any problem, so you can solve using three basic cases. Those are called control structure. Any flow of logic. Flow of logic can be divided into two kind of structures. Flow of logic based on the flow of logic. There are three control structures. The first one is called sequence. Sequence means instructions are executed one after the another. We call sequence. For an example, the problems that we have discussed already. Find out the total of two numbers. Find out the total of two numbers means first step you just input the numbers, second step you add the numbers, third step you print the total. Find the area of a circle. You input radius, then you find out the area, then you printed the area. Find out the area of a rectangle. You first input the width and length, then you multiply and find out the area, then you print it. So those are called sequence kind of instructions. Instructions are executed one after the another. For an example, type in one line, press enter, go to next line, type the second line, press enter, go to next line, type third line, press enter, go to next line. That is sequence kind of instruction. And maybe that is in your real life as well. From grade 1 you are promoted to grade 2, then to grade 3, then to grade 4, likewise. So now you are in grade 11. So that is sequence, right? But when you come to grade 11 and do your O levels, you have different subjects, no? You can select maths, you can select science, biology, or you can select technology, you can select arts, commerce. Likewise, you can select your part. Then ඔයාට බෑනේ මෙහෙම කරන්න. ඔයා කරනවා, ඔයා ඉස්කෝලේ කරනවා, ආටුත් කරනවා, කොමර්සුත් කරනවා. You are not allowed to do that. Either you can do art or you can do commerce. Man science ut karna, maths ut karna, technology ut karna. You can't do like that. You can select only one path. So that is called selection. Where you have multiple paths, select one path from alternative paths based on a condition. Based on a condition, you can select one path. You can select one path among you have set of alternatives, but you can select only one. So for an example, if you are traveling, so you have a junction. In junction, you can select only one direction, either right or left. So you can't go right and left both.
Yeah.
right? So that is selection. Third one is repetition. This is true for most of the school kids in Sri Lanka. Repetition means, so till repetition, till a certain condition satisfied, you do the things again and again, or repeat the instruction flow based on a condition. So most of the students are doing the same in A levels. That means till O levels you came to sequence. In O levels you applied selection and select the path. In A levels, so most of the students go to this repetition path. Means first shy, they are doing first shy, and results is not enough to go to university. They are in second shy, result is not enough to go to the university. They are doing third shy. Likewise, they repeat the instructions again and again till a certain condition satisfied. So that is called repetition. Okay, how repetition? How we are using repetition in computer?
Uh,
Give me an example how we are using repetition in computer.
in day-to-day life?
Sorry.
No,
In
no.
not in day-to-day life. In computers, how we are using repetition? So in the operating systems, have you learned the concept? I think you can remember the process scheduling and all processes and all. First process
Yeah.
is executed. After that, it will give a chance to the next process. After that, next process. Likewise, it will apply round robin algorithm, and equally each and every process will be given equal chance to execute. That is repetition. For an example, think that you are copying a file, or file like a copy in a you started downloading another file, and you started copying another file. What will happen to the copying process? Will it be faster or will it be slow down?
Uh,
So assume
Slow
that you are
down.
copying one file to a pen drive.
Yeah.
Now you have started copying another file to the same pen drive, same time. Now what will happen?
Fast.
Fast. Are you sure? So you are
Uh,
downloading a movie. You are downloading a movie. You started downloading another movie at the same time.
Same time. Yeah, yeah. Sure,
Same
sure.
time. You started downloading another movie. Then what will happen?
Slow down.
Yeah, in your internet connection, you feel that downloading has slowed down. දැන් පළවෙනි
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
එක bit per second 5ක් වේගෙන් download වුණා නම් 5 Mbps වේගෙන් download වුණා නම් දෙවෙනි movie එකක් දැම්මට පස්සේ අරක බහිනවා 3 Mbps වලට විතර. අනිත් එකට share වෙනවා 2 Mbps. Now actually what's happening in the processor? So processor will give attention to the first download, maybe few
Yeah.
seconds, maybe few milliseconds. After that, it will give attention to the second download, few milliseconds. Again, first download, few milliseconds. That means the processor is shared, resources are shared, internet connection is shared now. Now, actually, both will be given the chance. Both downloads are accepted, but both will give equal chance. Therefore, both processes will be slowed down, but both will happen in the same time. That is the advantage. For an example, assume that your mom is cooking some food in kitchen. She started
Yeah.
cooking another one. Now you are preparing two meals or two kind of vegetables. Now, so only one person is there now physically, but physical one person can give logically uh, two processes. That's the concept of core i3, core i5. Likewise, that is the processor. The logical processors physically one core, but or physically two cores. They are doing logically three or four processes. So that is the core i3. Core i3 again, one core is there, maybe two cores are there, but actually doing four logical processes. Right? Core i5, or maybe let's say quad core i5. Physically, four cores are there, but they are doing six processes virtually. Similar to that, your mom is there. She was cooking only one meal, but your sister came and asked for another one. Now she's preparing both, but same time. she's doing at the same time. Give one attention to you have to. She has to give attention to you as well, and your sister. Both must get the attention. And then in your school, maybe in your little age, you got attention like that. අක්කටත් දෙන්න ඕන attention එක ඔයාටත් දෙන්න ඕන පොඩ පොඩ දෙන්නටම දෙන්න ඕන. Now process sharing. So that's happening. That's the thing really happening in the processors. That's the thing really happening in RAM, hard disk, network connection. That is called resource sharing. Right? Okay. But it will give the equal chance. Therefore, it will slow down. Then you need repetition. Why repetition? පළවෙනි process එකට පොඩ්ඩක් දෙනවා ආපහු වෙනවා දෙවෙනි process එක බලනවා දෙවෙනි process එකට පොඩ්ඩක් time එක දෙනවා ආපහු වෙනවා පළවෙනි process එක බලනවා. This is called round robin. You till you finish the first process and second process, you do the repetition. That's what repetition. That's why repetition is important process in the computer. Okay, now you know there are three logics. So one is sequence, second one is selection, third one is repetition. Sequence means instructions are executed one after the another. Selection, the instruction flow is or the path is selected based on a condition. Repetition means repeat the instruction flow based on a condition. So those are the three basic control structures in programming. This is lifelong activity, because why I'm telling, because you need this for your degrees, you need this for A levels, you need this for postgraduate, everything. So please remember this. There are three control structures: sequence, selection, and repetition. Sometimes this repetition is called iteration. Iteration.
In design.
Sorry?
No.
Repetition sometimes they call iteration. Okay. Right. Then let me discuss one example related to. Now we have discussed enough examples for sequence. Let's discuss one for selection. Assume that, okay, the question number 4. Input 2 numbers and print the maximum among or maximum from those two. So you are asked to input 2 numbers and print the maximum. So now you can, even though you input 2 numbers, you can print only one number, no, which is the maximum. Okay, let's see how this is going to happen. So first you input the number. So you have to start anyway. This is compulsory. You have to start the program. Start again. So that is compulsory now. Then you input 2 numbers. Inputs are denoted by using parallelogram. Use the parallelogram and then write the inputs. You can say input number 1 and number 2. So you are going to input 2 numbers. Then you are going to find out the maximum. So you need decision. So this is done using the decision symbol, which is the diamond. It's the decision symbol. Right. Now you have the decision symbol to select the path. Then you have to print the output. Okay, what is the decision to be made? And decision is whether num1 is greater than num2. Sorry. You check num1 is greater than num2. If this is yes, if num1 is greater than num2, if this is yes, what you have to do? You have to print, this is the output, you have to, if this is yes, you have to print number 1, else you have to print number 2. You have 2 parts. Then combine both parts. To combine, you are having this one, but in your book, this is not used. It's okay to avoid this. You can just ignore this and write. That is up to you. And then you have the end. Pause. Stop. Okay, let's draw the arrows. This is stop. This is print num2, sorry, num1. Print num2. Direction doesn't matter. You can write num2 here, num1 here. That is up to you. Okay, data flow. First, it flows to the inputs, that is sequence. Again, it flows to the decision, that is also sequence. In this decision, if number 1 is greater than, you can put if as well. If එකත් ඕනනම් දාන්න පුළුවන්, සමහරු දානවා, නොදා ලිව්වත් කමන්නේ. If number 1 is greater than number 2, then you have to print number 1. This is actually yes side. So you have to just mark that as yes side. If this is yes, this is called yes side. That side you can decide. Yes side may පැත්තට දාන්නත් පුළුවන්. So if not, you can put yes side this way. So anything that you prefer, you can put. I'll make this no side. This is yes side. If number 1 is greater than number 2, you have to print number 1 because number 1 is the largest number. If it is not, you have to print number 2 because number 2 is the largest number then. Right? If it is yes, you print number 1. If it is no, you print number 2. That's the decision. You have to select only one path. After the decision, you can just combine the flow. මේ combine කරන එකට connect එක නොදා ලියලා තියනවා වලගේ පොතේ ඒක කමන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක ලිව්වට වැරද්දක් නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ connect එක දාන්න නැතුව කෙලින්ම මේ දෙක මෙහෙම join කරලා පල්ලයට ඉතලයක් දාලා තියෙනවා. ඒක ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. Some are using like that. Or you can use the connector and stop.
Sir, ඒක නිකන් මේ හැබැයි ඕකෙදි මේ ඇඩ් කර කියන්නේ මොකද්ද හරියටම කියන එක දන්නේ නැහැ නේ සර්.
ඒ
කියන්නේ මොකද්ද ඕකෙන් ලොකු කියන එක?
Oh, that is the implementation because this logic will support, this flow will support any implementation. Assume that number 1 is 10, number 2 is 5. Number 1 is 10, number 2 is 5. මේක 10 නම් මේක 5 නම් 10 තමයි ලොකු. එහෙනම් මේ පැත්තෙන් තමයි flow එක යන්නේ. මෙහෙම තමයි flow එක යන්නේ. Right? නැත්නම් number 1 10, number 2 20. Then 10 20. මේක false නේ. මේක false නම් මේ side එකෙන් යන්නේ. එතකොට 20 print වෙනවා. කොහෙන් ගියත් අපිට ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. අපිට ඕන maximum. දැන් 10 ලොකුයි නම් 10 ගිහලා 10 print වෙලා ඉවර වෙනවා. 10යි 5යි තිබ්බොත්. print 10 stop. 10යි 5යි තිබ්බොත්. 10යි 20යි තිබ්බොත් print 20 stop. So we don't mind which flow. But anyway, the output is the maximum number. That's what we expect. Understood?
Yeah.
Yeah, implementation wise, if you want to see how implementation happen really in programming, so I can show that again using that same IDE, but this is not there in your syllabus. Just to show how it happens, I'm using now. So don't remember this part. This may make a පාඩම් කරගන්නේ ඕනේ නැහැ. මට ඕන මෙතන මේ වෙන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා පෙන්වන්න විතරයි. So let's input number 2, number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is equivalent to integer input. Can say enter number 1. So similar to that, you can get the number 2. Enter number 2. If W1 enter number 2. Then you can say if num1 greater than num2, එහෙමනම් මොකද්ද කරන්න ඕන? Print. You can say num1 else print num2. This is the program. Okay, then let me run this. Run module. This is selection. Let's say example 4. It asks me enter number 1. When you run the program, it asks me enter number 1. I'll tell number 1 is 20. Enter number 2. Number 2 is 10. It prints number 20. 20 is the largest. If I run this again, if I enter number 20, number 40, 40 is the largest. I'm getting the output. I don't mind from which flow I'm getting the output. Anyway, in the designing, that was decided. But as the user, I just need the largest number. So my program support that output. That's what I really expect. Understood? ඔයි flow එකෙන් දාවේ කියන එක වැඩක් නැහැ. user ට
Yes.
ඕන අන්තිමට maximum print කරගන්න එච්චරයි. දැන් මේක if එකෙන් දාවේ else එකෙන් දාවේ කියන එක නැත්තම් මේ පැත්තෙන් දාවේ මේ පැත්තෙන් දාවේ කියන එක වැඩක් නැහැ. අන්තිමට ඕන you need the output. That's all. Okay, that's how selection is done, and now you know how to implement selection as well. So you can refer to your book. So you have this all these things: select, sequence, where instructions are executed one after the another. Selection, you have two parts. You select. Repetition means you go in the same track again and again. This is sequence. Sequence, student grade 1 to grade 13, they are going in sequence. Selection, you select the subject or select the path based on the condition. That is selection. And repetition means something like this. You go in the same loop, same cycle again and again. So these examples are given, right? Examples are given in the book. Please go through and read out. And then you are given the symbols. These are the symbols we discussed. Start, end symbols, flowchart symbols, process symbols, decision symbol, data flow, and connector. Connector is given, but even though connector is given here, this is one example we discussed. මෙතනත් connect එක දීලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි මම මේ මෙතන පෙන්නන්නේ මේ connect එක දාලා නැහැ. මෙතන connect එක එන්න ඕන. So here, because see the example, you start from this, input a number, find the remainder. Remainder means whether remainder is 0 or not. After dividing, what is the balance? After dividing a number, if balance, after dividing the number by 2, if balance is 0, that number is even number. දෙකෙන් බෙදුවම ඉතිරි වෙන්නේ බිඳුව නම් even number. දෙකෙන් බෙදුවම ඉතිරි වෙන්නේ බිඳුව නෙවෙයි නම් නැත්නම් එකක් නම් that is odd number. So there are two parts. Actually, here you should indicate the connector. Actually speaking, in connector should be here, but in your book, connector is ignored. Even though they have introduced the connector, here they have ignored the connector. Right? They ඒගොල්ලෝම introduce කරලා තියෙන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ටම අර නීති හදන කට්ටියන නීති කඩන්න පුළුවන් වගේ කේස් එකක් තමයි මෙතන තියෙන්නේ. They have introduced, they have ignored. So you are also okay to ignore. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒක ignore කරනකොට ඔයාලටත් ignore කරන්න පුළුවන්. But that is not the actual thing. Actually, you have to put the connector here. ඒක දැම්මත් නැතත් විභාගෙදී ලකුණු හම්බෙයි. මොකද පොතේදීත් ඒක අතහැරලා තියෙන හින්දා. Okay, with that, so this is another example for repetition. I think, yeah, we should discuss in the next day because it needs some more time to discuss about repetition, and that is some interesting part. So, but just go through the book. Go through the book. This is page. So you know how to download the book, no? Anyway, no need to download the book. No, you have the book printed one with you. No?
Yeah.
Right. You can use the printed one. This is page number 11. Printed එකේ මොකද්ද මේ page එක?
Wait. 11.
11. Let's say.
It's also 11.
Right. Okay. Then, so after that you have pseudocode part. This part actually we will be finishing this lesson probably on the next week. Next week, or if you put another date and ask me to do the class, but please take like morning time. Don't take evening time because evening I'm having classes. උදේ ඕනනම් දාගන්න මොකක් මට කරලා දෙන්න පුළුවන්. And ඉවර කරන්න බැරි වෙයි මේකේ මේ ටික කරගන්න පුළුවන්. flow chart pseudo codes කරන්න පුළුවන් because you have something called Pascal programming, real programming implemented in Pascal. So this will take some time. Pascal programming will take some time. So therefore, otherwise we can finish this within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, maximum 3 weeks, we can finish the lesson. This is one of the largest lesson in your book. You will get many questions from this area. flowcharts,
Pascal.
plots, and yeah, you will get many questions from this area. So go through the video again. Go through the video again and write down the note. So that is very important. And
Okay.
practice this. And practice this.
Send me. Okay. Send
Sorry.
me. So මට එවන්න මේ
Right. Okay.
video.
I'll put it into the LMS. Right. I have sent you already the LMS link and how to create that. So this is the LMS Edmodo. මේ තියෙන මේ LMS එක web එකෙන් මේකට log වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් you can create app. You can install the app in your mobile. මේකේ advantage එක තමයි මේක join වෙන්න කියලා මම කියන්නේ හේතුව මේකේ මම දානවා අර ඔය questions මගෙන් ඉන්නවනේ time to time. But I'm putting the questions here. And I'm putting the questions here for an example. Let me go to O-level ICT English medium paper class. මේකට ගියාම you can see so මේ තියෙන කලින් කරපු videos මේ තියෙන paper class එකේ discussion videos. You can refer to this discussion videos as well. Not only that, right? Not only that, you have quizzes. Here, you have quizzes. So you can click the quiz and here view the quiz. Right? These are the questions actually. For these questions, you can mark the answers. This is how the different students have submitted and graded all these things. So what you can do is you can just go and do the quiz. Right? So I'll show one. කෙනෙක් එකක් නිකන් පෙන්නන්න මේ සබ්මිට් කරලා තියෙනවා. තරණ එකේ දැන් මේ වගේ තියෙන්නේ. මේ අර question එක තියෙනවා. question එකේ ඔයාට එතනම මාක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට ඔයාට එනවා right wrong ඒ ඔක්කොම ඒ වෙලාවෙම උත්තරේ එනවා. For an example, this question, which of the following statement related to web development are correct? Content shown in the dynamic web pages are vary according to user inputs or time. Dynamic web pages දැන් මේ පාඩම අපි කතා කරලා නැහැ තාම. ඔයාගේ එකේ හැබැයි සමහරට ඔයාලා කරලා ඇති. මේකට උත්තරේ වෙන්නේ මේක. මේ කොළ පාටින් පෙන්නන්නේ. හැබැයි ආ මාක් කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේක. හරි. ඒ වගේ මේ questions one by one බලලා දැන් මේ තියෙන්නේ ඒත් HTML වලින් අහලා තියෙන්නේ. මේක මොන ලිස්ට් එකක්ද? මේක unordered ලිස්ට් එකක් නේ. එතන මේකට උත්තරේ වෙන්න ඕන UL and LI. හරි. Then this one. අහලා තියෙනවා web browsers මොනවාද කියලා. web Firefox Outlook කියන එකෙන් Firefox web browser එකක් Outlook web browser එකක් නෙවෙයි. Outlook කියන්නේ email. ඊළඟ Firefox Safari කියන දෙකම web browsers. That is correct. Chrome and easy search කියලා එකක් නැහැ. Chrome කියන්නේ web browser එකක්. ඒක හරි. හැබැයි easy search කියලා එකක් නැහැ. එතකොට මේකට උත්තරේ වෙන්නේ B නේ. නෑ. B mark කරා නම් she will get the mark. Right? So you can do right? Okay, fill in the blanks questions තියෙනවා සමහර. So this you can go and right? So this is like find the matching pair. Find the matching pair. So used to transport web pages transport කරන්නේ hypertext transfer protocol එකෙන්. File transfer කරන්නේ file transfer protocol එකෙන්. mark කරලා තියෙනවා හරි ඒක. internet වල foundation protocol එක TCP IP. email receive වෙන්නේ IMAP වලින්. email send කරන්න පුළුවන් SMTP වලින් නැත්නම් POP වලින්. එතකොට email download වෙන protocol එක තමයි POP3 කියලා කියන්නේ. මේ protocols ගැන තමයි අහලා තියෙන්නේ මේ question. So likewise you have sample questions. Here also from this one also I'll put sample questions to Edmodo LMS. Right, then you can just mark and your mark will be displayed to you with the right answers and wrong answers. That is easy way to get evaluated and therefore please join this. I have sent you the code, login code එක මම ඔයාලට එවලා තියෙනවා. Yeah, please follow the instruction in the video. Yeah.
Okay. Sir, මේ කියන්නේ daily මේ මම මේ මොකද්ද මේවා logic gates questions 5 ගානේ කරනවා. හරිද? ඒක කරන්න සර් මට මේ questions හොයාගද්දි ටිකක් අමාරුයි. සර් මට පුළුවන් නම් daily හරි නැත්නම් weekly හරි මේ දවස් ගානේ 5ක් කරන්න මට එවන්න පුළුවන්ද සර්?
Right, okay. I'll send questions. So you can
logic gates ටුටක් මේ අර maths වගේ නේ කරන්න නැතුව හිටියාම මේ අමතක වෙනවනේ.
That's true. I'll send
ඉතින්
some
මම
questions.
ඩේලි 5ක් කරන්න කියලා මේවා කරා.
Okay. Plus, I'll add some question to LMS as well. So then you can just
ඕකේ ඕකේ.
do that as well. I'll add some question to LMS as well.
මේකේ මේ ඉන්ඩිවිජුවලි මෙසේජ් කරන්නත් පුළුවන්ද?
Yeah, you can message individually. That's possible.
ඕකේ.